Welcome to this online service of Myton Church. My name's Kim Hubbard. I'm going to be leading this service, and a little later Andrew Morgan is going to be teaching the Bible today. If you're not a member of Myton Church and you're joining us, a special welcome to you. Whether you've been directed to us by a friend, maybe a family member or a work colleague, or maybe you just stumbled across us online, you are very welcome. And if you have questions arising out of anything you hear this morning, please do get in touch. You're always free to ask those questions. Can I take this opportunity to thank this morning those church members who are preparing the video each week for our children, the Myton Kids video that happens each week. I know the effort that goes into that, so thank you so much for doing that for us. Well, I wonder how you're coping at the moment, what sort of week you've had. This week on our blog, there are 3 new testimonies to look at. I do encourage you to look at those. 3 testimonies describing how people are getting on in lockdown. 2 of them are from students who've been with us for some years but have just finished their courses at Warwick University. That's Elizabeth Massey and James Bennett. And then there's another testimony too by Andy Clark, who's been furloughed for some months now. And it was a sentence in Andy's testimony I wanted just to bring to our attention. He says this: people talk about the change curve, but I imagine mine to be a change scribble of acceptance, anger, boredom, low self-esteem, enjoyment, just getting on with it. Well, that captures, I imagine, many of our experiences, something of the ups and downs during this period. But irrespective of the week we've had, last Sunday, do you remember, as we did our last study in that letter to the Thessalonians, we thought that for God's people, there is the call to be joyful and thankful. That's not to, as it were, trivialise our difficulties and hardships and struggles and pains, but we can still be joyful and thankful because of what we know of God and his salvation, his rescue of us in Jesus Christ. So we're going to read now, and we're going to read from Psalm 95. And in the first 2 verses of this psalm, again, the themes of joy and thankfulness are present, rooted in what we know of God. You may want to read along with me. So the words are going to come up on the screen, or maybe you'll turn to your own Bible. But let's read together the first 7 verses of Psalm 95. Psalm 95. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is the great God, the great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. Well, now to our first song. Actually, it's a great old hymn, written in the 17th century, written in German, which means it's been translated, and for that reason there are variations in the words in different books and so forth, but the version we're singing this morning is slightly different from the one we normally sing. But the truths are there, they're great and glorious, so sing or listen and celebrate the God we worship.